Time now for our international press review in the papers. Catherine Spencer's here. Catherine, where would you like to start?
OK, well, first of all, I wanted to start with the London mayoral elections, which is obviously dominating the British press today. According to the Evening Standard, which is the London Daily, Boris Johnson, the Conservative candidate, is still in the lead, although the current London Mayor, Ken Livingstone, apparently the gap is narrowing between them. But there's some quite interesting statistics. A political correspondent says that Livingstone's been badly affected by the party's troubles with so basically what's happening to the Labour government is having a knock-on effect on him, and that's probably, partly why Boris Johnson is sort of ahead in the polls as well. Apparently 62% of voters say that Ken Livingstone's made some extremely bad appointments in picking his closest advisors. And one of the things that I thought was quite interesting is that if Boris Johnson does win, the Conservatives have insisted that they oust Ken Livingstone from City Hall within a matter of minutes because they're worried that he might try and shred embarrassing emails and get rid of documents that they want to get their hands on. So literally, if Ken Livingstone doesn't succeed in securing a third term as London Mayor, he'll probably be frog-marched out by security, accompanied by his staff.
The plot thickens and thickens, but I mean, talking of embarrassing gestures, obviously Boris Johnson in the past has made some massive clangers, so if he does become London Mayor, it could be the beginning of a very interesting time in terms of headlines, stories, and well, fodder for the likes of us during a press review, should we say. What's next, Catherine?
Just looking briefly, the Independent also shows Ken Livingstone looking rather glum after he voted in Crinklewood.
He always looks glum, though, doesn't he? He's got a very glum face.
And the Guardian staying with the elections, but actually with the local elections throughout England and Wales, that say that brown face is an election mauling at the moment, and it's estimated that Conservative Party may make gains of up to...
Brown looks glum in that one, doesn't he, as well? They all look glum.
He's not looking particularly happy, but they suggest
hard time for the left in Britain.
Yeah, Conservatives could win up to an extra 150 seats, so that could be, that would certainly be
I mean, it's normal for a protest vote to be cast during local elections in the UK. That happens all the time, and the turnout is usually very low. We must say this because
it's his first big election
the turnout
is
usually something like 30%, which in France would be unthinkable, because turnout for the French are professional voters, aren't they? Like 60% is considered low in France. In the UK, if it's like 30%, they're lucky for the locals. People aren't interested, but protest vote. Sorry,
Absolutely.
Catherine, I'm taking up your time. Carry on.
Going on with today's Zaman, which is a Turkish daily, it talks about the May Day sort of labour celebrations, which turned sour because 3 of the trade unions called for workers. They wanted about 500,000 people to march into central Istanbul, but there was a massive police presence. There was a massive crackdown. Protesters clashed with police. Up to 500 people apparently were detained, although today's Zaman says that actually the real figure could have been close to nearly 1,000. So the sort of May Day celebrations turned sour there, although the unions did call off the rallies at about midday because of the police presence.
That seemed to be a theme, didn't it? May Day celebrations turning sour. The pictures from Germany were quite shocking, weren't they?
Well, in fact, all over the place, but we're just focusing on Turkey, and the Herald Tribune as well had some images as well from people trying to take refuge from the police because of the heavy police presence. But so yeah, not much to celebrate on May Day.
Pick a final story,
Okay,
Catherine.
well, just finally, I just wanted to talk about the Parisian. Apparently, Parisians have come up with an interesting way to make some extra money in order to sort of deal with the credit crunch. They thought,
I'm a bit worried what you're going to say here, Karen.
No, well, what they've decided is it pays to go on holiday. So while they are on their holidays, there's a new agency that's enabling them to rent out their apartments while they're away, so that they can basically get paid for going on holiday. And with relatively small apartments going for up to €200 a night, you can see that maybe it's something you might want to consider.
Fantastic. I don't think anybody would consider staying in my apartment, though. It's a bit of a dump. OK, Catherine, thank you very much for that. That was our international press review with the one and only Catherine Spencer. You're watching the one and only France 24. Stay with us.